Deputy Travis Hensley had pulled over a lot of people in his 10-year career. He'd seen all kinds: talkers, criers, the smug ones, the scared ones. But this woman, driving an old Toyota Camry down Greenway Street, like she had somewhere to be, he clocked her going exactly the speed limit. No swerves, no rolling stops. Still, something about her rubbed him the wrong way. Maybe it was the calmness, the type of calm that made his skin itch. What he didn't know was that inside that beat-up car, behind the wheel, was Judge Celeste Langford, Associate Justice of the Texas Supreme Court. Celeste had never cared much for ceremony. Unlike many of her colleagues, she didn't travel with a driver or a state-provided SUV. No security detail, no entourage, just her car, her coffee, and her schedule. That morning, she'd slipped into a modest gray blazer, tossed her judicial robe into the back seat, and stopped by a corner shop for a small black coffee before court. She was expected to preside over oral arguments in less than an hour. She noticed the Cruiser 2 cars behind her. Not tailgating, just there. She signaled properly, checked her mirrors. Standard protocol. But when the lights flashed, she pulled over immediately by a gas station on Cypress and Greenway. Her hands went to the 10 and 2 position without hesitation. Calm, composed. The Cruiser door slammed open. A thick-set white officer with a trimmed beard marched toward her, face already twisted with something she couldn't quite name: agitation, maybe, or eagerness. You in a rush or something? He barked. Celeste blinked, keeping her voice level. Good morning, officer. May I ask why I'm being stopped? License and registration, he snapped, ignoring her question. His hand hovered near his belt like a reflex. Celeste calmly narrated her actions. I'm reaching into my purse now. Slowly, deliberately. But her evenness didn't de-escalate him, it seemed to provoke him. Don't move so slow. You think this is a joke? He snarled, leaning in through her open window, breath hot with stale coffee. Before she could respond, he yanked open the door. Her body jerked back instinctively. Out of the car. Now. She didn't argue. She unbuckled her seatbelt and stepped out. Her feet had just touched the pavement when his hand struck her face with a brutal slap, hard enough to twist her head sideways. Gasps erupted from the onlookers and nearby people filling gas tanks, grabbing coffee, standing dumbfounded. Celeste staggered, tasted blood. Her blazer slipped off her shoulder, and she blinked through the sting. Her first thought wasn't fear. It was fury and restraint. You just assaulted a sitting judge, she said quietly. There was no threat in her voice. Just fact. Hensley scoffed, stepping back like she was crazy. Yeah, right. From the corner of her eye, Celeste saw a woman drop her coffee. A man at pump 3 pulled out his phone. Another one muttered, "Oh no." He messed up. With steady hands, Celeste reached into the inner pocket of her blazer and retrieved her badge. The sunlight hit the gold hard, the seal of the state Supreme Court shining unmistakably. The shift in the air was instant. Hensley's face drained of color. The murmurs became louder. That's a judge, someone whispered. She's a damn judge. But Celeste didn't move, didn't raise her voice. She stood still, the badge catching the sun, her eyes locked on him. You're going to answer for that, she said with quiet thunder. The officer's hand twitched near his holster. For a moment, everything froze. Then he barked, "Put that phone away," at a teen across the street recording with shaking hands. No one moved. Celeste stayed exactly where she was. You assaulted me in public, she said again, in front of witnesses. This won't disappear. He staggered back, fumbling for his radio. Requesting immediate backup, he stammered. Possible disturbance at Shell Station, corner of Greenway and Cypress. He didn't mention what caused it. Her cheek ached now, hot and swollen, but she didn't touch it, didn't flinch. This was bigger than pain, bigger than pride. I didn't know who you were, he muttered finally. You didn't think I looked like a judge, she replied. Her voice didn't waver. A woman in the crowd called out, What's a judge supposed to look like? The answer hung in the air, unanswered, because there wasn't one that didn't expose the ugly truth behind his actions. The first patrol car rolled up. 2 officers got out, eyes scanning the scene. 1 Latino man, 1 white woman. They froze at the sight of Celeste's badge and the red print across her face. Celeste addressed them calmly. This officer assaulted me during an unwarranted traffic stop. I'm Judge Celeste Langford, Texas Supreme Court. One officer's mouth dropped. The other looked at Hensley like he was toxic waste. Another car, then another. The manager of the gas station ran out yelling, "I've got everything on camera." Hensley wilted. The weight of what he'd done hit him all at once. Sirens wailed in the distance. Dispatch crackled over the radio. Lieutenant Reese en route. ETA, 3 minutes. Celeste kept her arms folded loosely, the badge still visible. The woman, Officer Saunders, approached slowly. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" Celeste nodded once. "He struck me." Saunders looked like she wanted to sink into the asphalt. "I'm staying until your lieutenant gets here," Celeste added. Her tone brooked no disagreement. When Lieutenant Reese arrived, the temperature shifted again. Black SUV, government plates. A man built like granite stepped out, sunglasses off the second he saw her. He pushed through the circle. "Judge Langford," he said, voice low. "Are you all right?" Celeste didn't speak. She simply turned her head to show the swelling on her cheek. Silence. Reese's jaw clenched. Then he rounded on Hensley. "What the hell happened here?" Celeste answered first. "This officer pulled me over without cause, forced me from my car, and struck me before verifying who I was." Reese's eyes narrowed. "You hit her." "I didn't know," Hensley began. "You thought that made it okay?" Celeste cut in again. "My position doesn't excuse what happened. It just makes it impossible to pretend it didn't." The lieutenant turned back to Hensley. "Hand over your weapon and badge." "Now." Hensley blinked. "Lieutenant, you're lucky this doesn't end in cuffs." The badge came off. The sidearm followed. Hensley was led away, too stunned to protest. Celeste didn't gloat. She simply stood still, disappointment radiating from her like heat from concrete. Later, at the station, she gave her statement. News vans swarmed the area. Her name hit the headlines within hours. Supreme Court judge assaulted in traffic stop. The footage hit social media. Tens of thousands of views within a day. Celeste sat in a windowless room, sipping lukewarm water, listening to the chaos outside. Lieutenant Reese returned, face grim. "The Attorney General's office is opening a full investigation. The FBI has been notified." "Good," Celeste replied. "They should be." "You're becoming a symbol," he said carefully. "I didn't ask to be." The next morning, her bruised face was on every screen. Support poured in letters, emails, phone calls. A retired Marine, a law student, a young mother, a pastor from Baltimore. They all said the same thing. Keep standing. And she did. At Hensley's trial, she testified clearly, with composure. The video was undeniable. The defense floundered. Verdict, guilty. Outside, reporters swarmed. Celeste stepped up to the mic. "My name is Judge Celeste Langford. What happened to me happens to people, everyday people, who don't have badges or titles to shield them. This isn't about my position. It's about dignity." She walked away head high. Weeks later, at a quiet ceremony in Austin, she addressed a crowd of students and leaders. "Justice doesn't live in robes," she said. "It lives in the choices we make every day. The moment we choose truth. The moment we choose courage." A young boy in the front row smiled up at her. Celeste smiled back. She wasn't alone, and she never had been. And as long as people kept standing, neither was justice.